Michigan state legislators are working hard to bring changes to the state system that tracks child abuse. And in December, the Michigan House of Representatives unanimously approved legislation that would clean up the state's central registry and make sure the right people are placed on that list. Michigan's Central Registry has been up and running since the early 1970s. The system is maintained by Child Protective Services and contains a list of over 300,000 people who have been identified as perpetrators of child abuse or neglect.
Now, what this does is that it will affect a person's employment, affect whether or not they can even be foster care parents or adoptive parents. It even affects whether or not they can run for a political office or work in a school system.
Legislators say a lot of people on the registry might not have done anything serious.
Maybe a neighbor had reported concerns of neglect, and there was an investigation, but the investigation found nothing. Well, that person could still remain currently under current law on that registry. There are so many individuals on there who might have been investigated for something, but it never amounted to an actual charge or a case of child abuse or neglect.
They are aiming to revamp the system with a bipartisan package of bills.
Right now, I believe we have 5 Democrats who have sponsored bills, including myself, and then 4 Republicans, for a total of 9 individuals, bipartisan. It's a beautiful package that is addressing this issue.
So this bill package does a lot, right? It cleans up that registry itself. We would never be able to make that public facing if we didn't clean it up and make sure that people who really need to be on that list are there. We wouldn't want to provide information to the public if it's not a fair process.
State Representative Kevin Hertel, a St. Clair Democrat, says it also will create a process to make sure that those who feel they do not belong on the registry can apply to be removed.
My bill in particular repeals or erases all the former verbiage and language, mandates, structure, and allows the other representatives to come in and tweak the system to make it where we want it to be. And each one of these categories have been identified, so we call it sponsored by the individuals.
Dr. Grenade Dudley serves as the chair of the Michigan County Social Services Association.
And this was one packet that came that we were really concerned about and supported. We support the legislation because it updates the central registry, the way in which people are on the registry, and the way in which people can get off of the registry. We definitely have a concern that you may have some folks that may be on that registry not knowing they're on the registry. So it updates the process for notifying you that you may have been placed on the registry.
The bills now move to the Senate.
So we're hopeful we'll get a hearing in the Senate relatively soon with passage sometime this year. This is not going to solve every child abuse case across our state, but it's going to put us in a direction where I think we can better protect our children. And I've always said that if this saves one life, it'll be well worth it.
In a statement to Fox 47 News, spokesperson for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Bob Wheaton, said, quote, MHHS has not taken a formal position on the legislation at this time, but we are always happy to have discussions with our legislative partners on ways to protect the safety and well-being of children and have been working with the sponsors of the legislation. We really can't speak to the intent of the legislation. Reporting for Fox 47 News, I'm Tiana Jenkins.